The Council of Aligned Civilizations had existed for 12,000 years before humanity stumbled onto the galactic stage. In that time, they had perfected the art of subjugation through overwhelming force and calculated mercy. Species after species had knelt before their ultimatum: submit to the Council's governance or face obliteration. None had ever chosen the latter and survived. Commander Alara Chen stood on the bridge of the UNSC Defiance, watching the holographic projection of the Council's ambassador. The creature was a Vextar, 8 feet of chitinous elegance, with compound eyes that reflected the cold light of distant stars. "You will surrender your military assets," the ambassador declared, its translator rendering the clicks and whistles into flat, emotionless English. "You will accept Council overseers. You will contribute 70% of your industrial output to the collective. This is non-negotiable." Captain Marcus Webb, standing beside Chen, clenched his jaw. "And if we refuse?" The Vextar's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Your homeworld will be reduced to molten slag within 3 cycles. Your colonies will follow. Your species will serve as a cautionary tale for the next 5,000 years." Chen studied the creature carefully. Behind it, through the viewscreen, hung the Council's war fleet. Hundreds of vessels, each capable of glassing a continent. The display was meant to inspire terror and compliance. It inspired something else entirely. "Ambassador," Chen said quietly, "I need to show you something." She gestured to the tactical officer. "Pull up the historical archives. File designation, Second World War, atomic weapons development." The Vextar's translator buzzed with confusion as images filled the holographic display. Mushroom clouds rising over cities. Radiation maps. Death tolls climbing into the hundreds of thousands. 80 years after we split the atom, Chen continued, her voice steady. We aimed those weapons at ourselves. Thousands of them. Pointed at our own cities, our own children. We lived for decades under the shadow of mutual annihilation. "Do you understand what that means, Ambassador?" The Vextar was silent. "It means we've already stared into the abyss of our own extinction. It means we've already made peace with the unthinkable." Chen's eyes hardened. "You threaten us with fire?" "We were born in it." Captain Webb stepped forward. "Here's our counteroffer. Leave. Now, never return. Tell your council that humanity declines membership." The ambassador's compound eyes seemed to shimmer with something like disbelief. "You cannot win this war." "Probably not," Chen admitted. "But we don't need to win. We just need to make victory so costly that you'll never recover from it." The transmission ended. Within 6 hours, the Council fleet opened fire on Earth's orbital defenses. What the Council didn't understand, what none of the other species had possessed, was humanity's gift for spite. Earth burned, yes. The orbital bombardment claimed 3 billion lives in the first week. But every human colony, every outpost, every mining station and research vessel received the same transmission. No surrender. No quarter. Make them pay for every inch. The Council expected capitulation. They got something else. The attack on Vextar Prime came from a direction the Council had never anticipated, from within their own territory. A human stealth ship, little more than a missile with a crew compartment, had slipped through their defenses 3 months prior. Its payload was simple: 20 fusion warheads and 1 recorded message. "You wanted to make us a cautionary tale," Captain Sarah Martinez said into the camera, her ship already beginning its final approach. "Let us teach you a lesson instead." Vextar Prime's atmosphere lit up like a second sun. 17 billion Council citizens died in the firestorm. It was humanity's opening move. The war lasted 4 years. The Council had superior technology, superior numbers, superior tactics. They had fought and won 10,000 conflicts across the galaxy, but they had never fought anyone willing to die for spite. Human tactics became legendary for their brutality. Suicide drones loaded with antimatter, kinetic kill vehicles that took years to reach their targets, bioweapons designed specifically for each Council species, and worst of all, relativistic missiles launched from deep space, accelerated to 99% light speed. Impossible to intercept and devastating beyond measure. The Vextar learned the cost when their secondary colony world simply ceased to exist, punched into debris by a mass the size of a telephone pole moving at relativistic speeds. The Council's client species began to whisper among themselves. This was not a war of conquest they were witnessing. This was mutual annihilation, And the humans seemed perfectly content with that outcome. "They're insane," the Kyrath delegate said in a council session, 2 years into the war. "They've lost half their population and they're still attacking. They're launching strikes that won't hit targets for decades. They're salting our worlds with weapons that will kill for generations." The Vextar commander-in-chief faced the truth then. Humanity wasn't trying to win. They were trying to ensure that even if they fell, the council would fall with them. The treaty was signed aboard a neutral vessel in unclaimed space. The terms were simple: immediate ceasefire, complete withdrawal of council forces from human space, and a non-aggression pact lasting 1,000 years. Commander Chen, now Admiral Chen, signed for humanity. She had lost her entire family in the bombardment of Earth. Her right arm was a cybernetic replacement, earned in the defense of Mars colony. "Why?" the Vextar ambassador asked as they prepared to depart. It was a different ambassador now. The previous one had perished on Vextar Prime. "Why fight so hard for certain death?" Chen looked at the creature with tired eyes that had seen the worst of what war could offer. "Because you asked us to kneel, and humanity has only ever known one response to that request." She turned to leave, then paused. "Ambassador, let me give you some advice. Take it back to your council. Share it with every species under your governance." The Vextar waited. Humanity spent 10,000 years fighting itself. We've perfected every form of warfare imaginable. We've contemplated our own extinction so many times that we've become comfortable with it. We are not the strongest species in the galaxy, nor the smartest, nor the fastest. She met the ambassador's compound eyes directly. But we are absolutely the most willing to burn everything down rather than submit. Remember that, the council remembered. They never returned to human space, and across the galaxy, a new phrase entered the linguistic databases of 1,000 species. They told humanity to kneel. Instead, we scorched their worlds to ash. It was not a boast. It was a warning.